If you are tall, you know this struggle. Walking into a Zara or an H&M, and it's a gamble. It's a gamble if you walk into either one of those stores to try to find something that's gonna fit. So in this video, we're gonna do a brand versus brand. Which one is better for us tall girlies, Zara or H&M? So let's go ahead and get right into it. But before we do, please consider subscribing and let's do this. So I'm gonna put some things that Zara does really well on screen. So first and foremost, longer inseams. Yes, when you walk into a Zara, it can be a hit or miss on finding tall girl approved clothing, but when it hits, it hits. And yes, you can find some longer inseams, scattered throughout the store, especially when it comes to slacks, when it comes to more of those tailored pants. Yes, you can find longer inseams. The issue is it's kind of a hit or miss. Like, you have to sift through. Yes, I have found some really great tall girl approved clothing. I found some amazing like satin kind of like slacks, I would say. I'll put them up here and they were so incredibly long, tall girl approved. But then I've put on some jeans and they were not tall girl approved. So it's definitely a hit or miss, but they do have some longer inseams. So we're gonna give a point to Zara for that. So next, Zara does a really good job with having a lot of structured pieces, which just naturally look better on tall frames or tall figures. So they have a lot of structured blazers, they have a lot of very elevated looking dresses and pea coats and shirts, I would say. So they have a lot of options when it comes to more of that kind of like elevated, sophisticated, more structured look. Whenever I'm looking for an outfit for like a business event, a conference, a networking event, and I need to look a little bit more put together, I need to look a little bit more sophisticated, I always go to Zara because I know without a doubt they're gonna have some pieces for me. Yes, you have to pay a little bit more. Everything is not guaranteed to be tall girl approved, but they're usually a good go-to when I need something a little bit more sophisticated looking. So the next thing Zara does really well is they have a lot of longer sleeve options. So your girly has long arms. Sometimes I feel like I'm all limbs, I'm all long limbs, and Zara comes through. They come through all the time with their blazers, their pea coats, their just like long sleeve shirts. They have length to their sleeves, which is huge because I don't know about you, but like if something is not long enough for my arms, that's a deal breaker. Like, it doesn't matter how cute the blazer is, how cute the pea coat is, how much I want that piece of clothing. If it doesn't fit my long arms, like, no, sorry, we're not going through with this. So that's a deal breaker for me, and Zara does have a lot of longer sleeve options, which is fantastic. And the last thing that Zara does really well is they have a lot of high-waisted options, which as a tall girly, you know this is huge. Like, I love wearing high-waisted anything because it's so complimentary on our long legs, our tall frame. So anything high-waisted, like, sign me up. Yes, I'm adding it to cart. I still don't know for sure if I have a short torso or a long torso. If I had to guess, I'd say I'd probably lean on the side of more shorter torso just because I have a lot of long limbs. I'm assuming that means I have a shorter torso, but I'll do a video on that. I'll do a video on that and confirm if anybody is curious. But those are some things that Zara kills. Zara knocks those out of the park. Now let's switch gears and share some things where Zara could improve a little bit. Something that I've noticed from shopping at Zara over the years is they have pretty inconsistent sizing. So this isn't just related to like tall pants or tall slacks. It's pretty much across the board. Like shirts, tank tops, dresses, like it can be pretty inconsistent compared to other stores. Like, it seems like other stores, like if we think about Old Navy or Abercrombie, you can pretty much fit a size and then just look for that same size and have a lot of success with that. Versus Zara, like, I don't know, some things run small, some things run large, so it's really kind of a hit or miss. which is honestly more of a con to shopping at Zara, because it's like you want to know for sure if a size is going to work for you or if it's not going to work for you, especially if you're in a pinch, you're trying to find something quick, you just want to know if it's going to fit you or not. So I would say that's definitely a con to shopping at Zara. So the next thing is Zara has pretty limited like tall sizing. The caveat there is like, yes, I would say their pants have just naturally a longer inseam than other stores I've shopped at. So as a tall girl, you can indeed find some tall girl approved options. You just got to sift through. So it's not like a very reliable way to find tall girl approved options. So that's something I wish Zara would improve on, is just having some more tall girl friendly options. The next thing I don't love about Zara is that it's just more expensive, especially when compared to H&M. Like, you're gonna pay higher prices. Now, it does seem like sometimes the higher prices come with better quality, especially when we're talking like blazers and pea coats and some of these more like statement structured pieces. Yes, you're gonna be paying more, but the quality does match the price point from my experience. Let me know though if you disagree, but that is something definitely a little bit more of a con. You're gonna have to pay more money when it comes to shopping at Zara. And the last con to shopping at Zara is the store can be pretty chaotic, especially if you go during like prime time hours, which don't go during prime time. You will regret it if you haven't already. So go early in the morning or go like in the evening, but like do not go in the middle of the day on like a Saturday or Sunday, because it's really, really chaotic. And more so than H&M, from what I remember, like there's going to be a huge line to the fitting room. There's just going to be a ton of people in there. And it seems like the vibe in Zara is people are like in and out. Like they are on a mission. They want to find these pieces and then they're out of there. Versus H&M, I feel like the vibe's a little different. Let me know if you disagree with that, but I feel like when you go into an H&M, a little bit more of a leisure pace. People are looking to find like a few different pieces, versus Zara, it seems like people are in there, they're on a mission. They're on a mission to find maybe a dress for a wedding or a conference or whatever. They're on a mission, so they're more focused, which makes it less enjoyable because you just have a bunch of people that are like just trying to get in and get out. So that's at least been my experience. So those were the pros and cons of Zara. So now let's switch gears and talk about H&M. And again, we're going to determine at the end of this video which one is better for us tall girlies. Let's start things off strong. H&M does have a tall section. So they do have specific pieces meant for us tall girlies, which is amazing. That always makes me smile. It always makes me so happy when there's actually brands out there that understand there's tall women out there and they actually create clothing that fits our needs, which is huge. That gains my loyalty right there. If a brand has long options, like Abercrombie comes to mind, like I'm gonna be going there and shopping there. They have earned my loyalty because they see me. They see me as a customer. They understand that I have needs as a tall girly and they are fitting those needs. So H&M has a tall section, which is huge. The next pro of shopping at H&M is they have a lot of basics, which is really nice. Like Zara doesn't have many basics, maybe a few, but for the most part, like Zara has a lot of like elevated, sophisticated, structured, pieces of clothing, versus H&M has a lot more basics. They have sweatpants, they have underwear, socks, bras. So if you just need a few basics, H&M has you covered, which is really nice. Next is the pricing. H&M is just so much cheaper. I did this huge shopping spree in December and I was amazed at like everything I could buy under $400, versus at Zara I could probably only get half of what I bought for $400 at H&M. So you can buy a lot more at H&M and just everything is way more affordable across the board, which is amazing. And the last thing that's really nice about H&M is like their store experience is just way less chaotic than Zara, and I don't know why exactly, but it's just a lot more of a peaceful experience. It's not chaotic. It's just a lot more organized. It's not anxiety inducing, at least in my opinion. So I mean, that's a huge pro of H&M. Now let's move on to the cons of shopping at H&M. So the first con is, I would say, sleeve length is usually shorter, which as a tall girly with really long arms, that's such a deal breaker for me. I have to have sleeves that are long enough in my coats, in my jackets, in my sleeves. Like, it just has to be long enough. And unless you're shopping like within the tall section, outside of the tall section, it's really hard. It's really hard to find like super long sleeves, which is such a deal breaker as a tall girly. And then another con of shopping at H&M is it seems like some of their clothing can just be a little baggier. I don't know if it has to do with like the fit and the structure. Like Zara has a lot of structured pieces. So, you know, their peacoats, their dresses, their blazers, they're all very nicely structured and nicely fitted, versus H&M, I feel like some of like their sweaters and their shirts just are not slim fitting. Does that make sense? Slim fitted. Like, they're just a little boxier, which if that's a vibe, if that's what you're going for, like, great, roll with it. But as someone with broad shoulders, I don't like boxy. Things can look boxy on me really easily. So I always try to find shirts that are a little bit more slim fitted. Like, I think this shirt, got it from Nordstrom, it's a little bit more slim fitted. So it just looks a little bit more complimentary, but I do feel like H&M, things tend to be a little boxier, just from my experience. So what is the final verdict? We've talked about the pros and the cons of both H&M and Zara. So from a tall girl perspective, I say H&M. H&M is the better option because they have a tall section. Everything is a lot more affordable, and you have pretty much everything you need. I've talked about this in a few other videos. Like, if I had to choose one store to shop at for the rest of my life, it would probably be H&M, because they have everything. They do have the structured pieces, the blazers, the peacoats, the business casual outfits, but they also have the workout outfits and the sweats and the basics. So you can pretty much round out your entire wardrobe just shopping at H&M. So I know that's a bold statement, but I say H&M. I say H&M from a tall girly's perspective because they have the tall section and they just have a lot more tall girl friendly options than Zara. Not saying that Zara doesn't have tall girl approved options, but it's much less consistent than H&M. So I say H&M. H&M is the tall girl approved option. So let me know in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much, as always, for watching, and I will see you in the next video.